Hello everyone, I am Nelly and welcome back to Nostalgic Dolls. In today's video, it's a very special video, one that I was very hesitant to make initially because it's just such a new thing to me, and that is to give the Victorian dollhouse from 95, from Barbie of course, a makeover. The house is very discolored. Some parts of it are brittle, just decorative parts luckily, so nothing that will impediment function of the actual house, which is a relief honestly. But when I received it and I was seeing the brittleness and how like a part of the balcony fell off into my hand, like I was just like, oh my god, what do I even do with this? And before, when I was younger, I did a Barbie camper, like tried to repaint it, and in retrospective I don't think it was that bad, but it wasn't very successful either, so I just gave it away. But the thing is that I've been improving myself with painting a lot, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna test a part of it at first, like the roof, and see. And if anything, acrylic paint till you fix it comes right off if you wash it, because what makes it stick in my experience and not budge is Mod Podge or varnish, basically a fixing agent for paint. But don't quote me on that, I'm not a professional painter, so if I'm off, please let me know. But yeah, I've said, you know what, it's very discolored, and with acne cream I don't feel very confident. I like to and also it was 100 shades of pink, literally, like just I didn't even know which one is meant to be and how to treat every different problem. So I was like, you know what, I like blue and I'm just gonna paint it blue, and so I did. But it was definitely a process with ups and downs. So yeah, it turned out good. Honestly, it turned out very good in my opinion. But it was just like the feeling of doing something that you don't really have a lot of experience, and the fear of messing up such a beautiful piece of Barbie history, really. So I was just like a bit worried and very careful, because I didn't want to ruin the house. Of course, that was not something that I hoped to avoid as much as possible, to just make it very nice, and I succeeded, I feel. But I will let you decide as you will watch the footage of painting the outside of the Barbie Victorian house. So without further ado, let's just roll the footage. Enjoy! Alright guys, here is the beautiful dollhouse we are gonna work at today. And on camera it looks so good, it looks like nothing is wrong with it, but it's so discolored. It has literally 1000 of pink colors, and I don't even know which one is the original one. And honestly, I just really love light blue, so I was thinking, if I have such a big dollhouse, takes a lot of space, it's not in a good condition. I mean, it's in decent condition, but it's just very discolored, and hopefully when I will make a close-up, you will see just how discolored it is. Why not making it into my dream house, like how I envision a perfect dollhouse? So I decided to make it a periwinkle color, where it's pink, and where it's green it's gonna be dark brown. So yeah, that's this color scheme I'm going for. But first I want to show you a bit just how discolored it is and the state of the house, and how I am planning to conceal some of the defects that are. Oh, by the way, I just cleaned the dollhouse because this video is gonna be long enough as is, and if you would like to see how I clean dollhouses that are thrifted to make them nice and shiny again, then I have a video just for that. It's gonna be in the bio. And yeah, basically I just use a big bucket of soapy water. As you can see, just soapy water. a sponge, a toothbrush, as well as big brush. Sometimes if like the house is really dirty and needs some good scrubbing, then I just use a big brush. And then I just, in the end, after I brush it a while, I just like to go with sanitizing wipes over it because it makes it feel more clean, and any residue is gonna be gone. And for small crevices, I like to use a combination. Alright, a combination of a combination of Q-tips and toothpicks. Alright, so let's zoom in on the dollhouse and see what we have to work with. So as you can see, this is very discolored, this is yellowed, then this is peach. We also have this that is just very discolored, and the window, this one is intact, luckily. This one was here when I purchased the house, it's just that it was so brittle I touched it and it just fell out. But I have a plan. I bought these fake flowers and I'm gonna disguise it with these fake flowers somehow, just to make it cute. And then if we lower our view, the lower floor is also very discolored, as you can see. Then these windows are fine. One of them is cracked actually, this one, if you can see up there. So yeah, then yeah, this is the front of the house. Then this window is missing. This is also just very scratched and discolored. The inside of the house, it's also just very discolored. As you can see, I scrubbed the floor very thoroughly, but it's still very dirty. It has this paper carpet, and on camera it just looks so much better than it does in real life when it comes to discoloration, and I don't understand why. Like in real life it's so obvious that it's so discolored, but on camera it's just perfect. So yeah, then this is the last floor. The floor is also discolored here. I took out the door of the two closets because I needed to wash them. They had some glue and I just needed to scrub them real hard, and I don't know if you can see, but they're very yellowed, which the camera doesn't really pick it up. Maybe if I... Alright, yeah, in this light it definitely picks it up how discolored it is. Now I did a test here, and don't worry that it looks patchy. It's just the first layer, so it's quite normal. So I'm just gonna have to do at least 2 coats to make it even. So yeah, but I'm pretty hopeful. But let's start working. As you can see, I'm working on my second layer. I waited to dry, but luckily acrylic paints dries pretty fast. Using a bigger brush, I'm gonna start on the roof with the first layer. I actually really like this green color. It reminds me of the Princess and the Pauper castle. I mean Annelise's castle, but it's so cute. But I think this will be better in the end because of this coloration. As you can see, there was an ornament where the discoloration is, but unfortunately it was so brittle and it fell right off. But I'm gonna cover it with paint, of course, and then I'm gonna do something very pretty to compensate. And as you can see, on a practical level, I just took a smaller brush and slowly I'm doing the margins of the roof. By the way, if you get outside of the lines, that's okay. I think you can also just use a specific type of tape, painting tape, but I wanted to use wet wipes to wipe the excess, because I was thinking in my head that if I use tape and there is also something that is painted on the other side, because the acrylic paint won't be fixed, it's gonna peel right off. But now I don't know, I just did what works best for me, and of course you're free to choose what works best for you if you do decide to do this kind of customization. And then I'm just continuing with painting the roof. Now this is the roof. After 2 or 3 layers, it still needs a couple more layers, but that's okay. And I'm gonna do it after it dries. And for the balcony, it's gonna be the same process, as it's the same color, and also just a couple of layers will be needed. And this is how it looks after I added a couple of layers for the balcony and the roof. And I feel like it's pretty good, honestly. I really was hopeful at this stage of the project. Now it's time for some detailed work on the balcony. I'm trying to be careful with this part, as it's very detailed, and ideally I won't go over the white too much, but you see that I did, but then I just clean it up, and that's okay. I'm sorry for the light change, as I'm filming this in the evening. It was around 9. And I'm filming with artificial light, but I really wanted to finish this project, as it needed a lot of hours for completion. So yeah, now I'm just adding more details on the trim, and then I'll finish the parts with brown for the main part. So yeah, I'm just doing that for the trim. Guys, at this time I also just lost some of the footage because I changed phones. I needed to. Luckily it's not that important. It was just most of the part where I was doing the dark blue, but it's basically just the same process as doing the dark brown, and I managed to save a bit of footage where I do more dark blue paint. But other than that, this video is still good enough to understand the process and descriptive enough. I think I lost like around 3 minutes of footage or so, but yeah, it was just this part. It's okay in the end. I gotta do what I can. So yeah, I hope you still enjoyed the video. Let's go back to the footage. So here we have the beginning where I painted already, and now I'm gonna just focus on the bottom of the house, as you will see, as it was a bit more difficult to paint than the upper part of the house, but that was okay. At some point I was also thinking to just make a combination of pink and dark blue, but then I scrapped it, and you'll see what I did. And if I need to wipe some extra paint, I just use a wet wipe, and that has been working for me. I also decided to embellish the house a bit. I was a bit stuck in the project, and when I have that, I just do something else. It was more footage, but then again, it's part of the footage that it got lost, unfortunately. But don't worry, I have something similar for the tower. I just put ribbon and then a bow and cute flowers, and it's very similar with what I did on the previous part of the house. So I'm happy actually that I didn't lost more, or it would have been terrible because I could not refilm this. It's just I just had it done, and that was all because the house is already done. But don't worry, you'll see in detail at the end of the video as I give you a tour. This is how the embellishment looked in the end. It really gave me new ideas for the project and hope. And I also just decided to do everything dark blue at this point, as I asked some people near me, and they were like, yeah, dark blue is the move. But later on you'll see that I also added some light blue. And of course I kept the brown, as I always liked it. I just referred to covering up the pink. At first glance, I know it looks like I'm painting this gorgeous detail dark blue, but my plan is to use a wet wipe because it's so well sculpted that it creates some distance between the house itself. So I'm just using a wet wipe to clean out the paint, as I thought it would be the easier option, and it turned out great. I also have this footage of painting on the side, and honestly it was the easier part of this project, and it was actually relaxing. As much as I love detail work, sometimes it can be very demanding, and I'm glad I could have this relaxing part. As I mentioned before, I'm gonna add light blue, and the irony is that when I searched paint, I searched light blue, like a quality light blue pen. I was like, okay, I must find one, right? No, I didn't. And then after I just finished the dark blue part, I just found it at the same store I bought the initial paint that turned dark blue, and I was just like, oh my god. I was happy, but I was also tweaking inside because it's so ironic. But in the end, everything turned out fine, so that's great. Now, after all of this painting, I'm gonna varnish everything, so it's gonna be more resistant and less papery or scratchy, because I'm planning to do photo shoots as well as just arranging things, and I needed to be able to withstand moving in the house, of furniture and dolls and things like that. So even though I was a bit anxious about it at first because it looked very gluey, I knew that I had to try it, and I tried it before on the Mermaid makeover, Mermaids actually, on my channel, so I'm gonna put a link in the bio. So I knew of it, so I had a bit of okay, it's gonna dry right. And then at that point it was also a bit droopy, so when that happened I just made sure I cleaned it up with some Q-tips or just the brush itself in order to keep things neat. After all of the processes and the unforeseen challenges, I can proudly say that I can finally show you the end result. Alright everyone, it's finally time for the grand reveal. I'm so excited because as you saw, this project had so many ups and downs. I'm so happy I finally finished the front, side, all in all. Of course, with time I'll probably see that it needs some more touch-ups or something like that, but that's okay. My goal was never to make it perfect. My goal was to make it as something as I like, because I love this house, but the reality of it was that it was just very damaged, very discolored. It's a big house, so making the acne treatment was just not an option for me, unfortunately, as I don't have any experience with it, and I didn't want to mess up with something I wasn't really knowledgeable when it comes to plastic. And I want this house to be resistant because I like to make photo shoots, I like to play with my doll houses, so I really needed it to be resistant and to withstand movement and putting things on it and so forth. But yeah, without further ado, let's just start with the tour. I'm so excited to show you guys. Alright guys, here is the ground floor. Because the house is so low and the lighting, it's not my best lighting. I think it looks good on camera, but I could easily make shadows and things like that. So I'm just gonna use cleanest wand to show you things. Alright, so as you can see, I picked dark blue for the main color, and then I did light blue accents. I did a couple of layers and then I Mod Podged everything. This house has beautiful stained glass like window, and the door of course opens. I'm gonna use this Barbie paper to show you the stained glass better, I hope. Such a cute detail that I definitely wanted to preserve. Then there is a cute post box, it's so cute. I also gave it a layer of white paint, like on the door and the pillars. And then, as you can see, I put like a Barbie bike and a Kelly scooter, along with some cute plants and a Barbie package. And of course I have a Barbie car, which is so cute. I thought it would look really neat. Now let's move on to the second floor. The second floor is my favorite part of the house so far, because it has so many points of interest. As you can see, I kept this pattern of painting dark blue and then light blue. I also added some cute flowers right there. I think that's very cute. Then I added a bow and another bow at that window, as you can see. And then I also added this ribbon. I thought it's just very neat, and I also added when I wasn't sure where this project was going, to just see how it will look with some embellishments. Then in the flower box I added some flowers. Unlike the flowers on the roof, they are not permanent because I did it with a little sponge, so I can just remove it if I like. Then I added these garden chairs, a garden hat. I thought that would be quite neat. Then of course I painted the floor brown, and it's so shiny and wood-like. And then we have the balcony, which turned out so good, honestly, like with the flowers, because as I told you, there were parts of this house that were very brittle, and this was one of them. And then I just did this design. I think it's very cute, and the colors and the flowers were inspired by real Victorian houses, and the way I painted it also, because I didn't at first, I just followed the original placement of the colors, just different colors. But then I was like, if I'm going as far to customize it, why not making it really my dream house, right? And then so I did. And I also did some little accessories here, like a picnic card and a sprinkler, and it's very cute. Now I want to show you the tower. So here we have the amazing tower that is such a highlight of this house, I feel. It's just the cutest thing ever. And I wanted to keep the detail, the ornate details, because the one on top was too brittle to keep. But these ones were another plastic entirely, so they just aged good. Edged better than the one on the first floor. Then I have the windows. I touched it up a bit with some white paint. One of them is still cracked. It's the last one here, but that's okay. I'm gonna repair it somehow. What I mean by repair it, I'm gonna mask it. I'm gonna show you on the first part of the tower, the first floor, how I did with the other broken window. So the window here was more broken, so I have tended to just take it out. There is no plastic here anymore, but I wasn't so good for the house, so I stuck with the others, and even I left some shards in because I couldn't take it out. So I did these details with flower in a strategic way to hide the damaged window, and I think it works. And I also like flowers, so I would have done it anyways, honestly, but I did it more strategically so I can keep the house looking as nice as possible. And then I added these beautiful details of like light blue on the bars, as you can see, in the circles. I think it really elevates the house, and it really reminds me of real Victorian houses, that detail like that with the contrasting colors and the highlight of the details. And the windows again are just retouched with some white. And yeah, this is also light blue. I thought it would be nice, as light blue is my favorite color. Actually, this whole dollhouse was supposed to be light blue, but I mixed wrong the colors and it turned dark blue instead. But that's okay. I actually like the result. At first I was very concerned, but now I'm like, oh, it's cute, it's contrasting, it adds depth to the house. It's just more detailed, and I really like it how it combines, so it's perfect to me now. And then the roof, it's just adorable. I feel like it's just so cute, the cutest thing I ever did see, with like the bows and the flowers and the lacy bead that matches that lacy bead with the flowers. And I think it's just so cute, and it really adds that vintage feel, or like antique doll houses that I was also inspired by. So I really like it. I think it's just very pretty. Then of course all of the roof parts I did brown, and then I glazed it like all of this house. So if you see this kind of shiny reflective thing, it's just varnish, because in order to just use it, as I said, I need it to be glazed, because if it's not glazed then it's just very papery feeling, and now it's just very smooth. Feels like how the plastic was intended to feel. Now I'm gonna quickly show you the sides and then we can close this video. This is what I did for the sides mainly. I did this light blue accent and then just painted it dark blue, the initial color. And then of course the roof brown as to match the other parts of the roof. As you can see, the inside is still pink. As I didn't do anything to the inside, there's gonna be a separate video of that because it would have been impossible to record the process of both outside and inside in one video without making it like long. Now this is the other side of the house. As you can see, it still has the blue detail on the bottom as well as the blue detail on top, and it's just dark blue with like the dark roof. So that's how it is. Right guys, this was all for this video. Thank you so much for being here. It means a lot for me that you take from your time and just you're here and watch my content. I'm excited to do the inside, and after that I'm also gonna decorate after I paint the inside. Till next time, take care and have a nice day. Bye bye.